because same reason as everyone else is here. Very disappointed at the situation we find ourselves in, very angered by what I see as the betrayal of the Irish people by the Irish government, and I think it was immoral to privatise or to socialise a private debt, which was what was done, and from that moment on we've been in crisis, and the people are being forced to pay the debt that was run up by speculators and gamblers and bankers.
I'm a farmer, and my son is a fisherman, and it's affecting us too. And basically, the prospects are pretty miserable because the whole economy is being driven down by these policies. They're even in straight capitalist economic terms, they're positively foolish. And I mean, they're either incompetent or wicked, and I think it's the latter. And I mean, the only answer, realistically, is to get rid of the bastards. I mean, what they're doing is they are effectively working for what is an international foreign government that wants to run a particular kind of economic system in the world at our expense, and I don't see why they should. And the most direct aspect of that is the European and British banks are actually profiting from our taxes. And it's not just our taxes, it's our social welfare recipients are going to suffer as well. The hospitals are suffering. People are literally, they're already leaving the country. 60,000 will go this year. It's heading towards famine conditions. We had just hit the same population as before the famine, before this nonsense started, and now we're dropping fast, and people will die. The people don't see it that way, but you cut health service staff and you cut people's social welfare so they can't eat properly. You get more sick people with less people to treat, and people will die. It's as simple as that. And for why? Because they want to give money to the banks, and they want to take more money from the IMF, which are making it worse. And not all the cuts that they're bringing in are even for straightforward economic capitalist reasons. They're bringing in cuts basically to weaken the workforce, like the removal of the JLCs. There's no reason for that other than to destroy the ability of those people to get a minimum wage and minimum conditions. And it's just sheer bloody viciousness, quite frankly. There is no excuse for it. And that's why I'm here.
So why are you here?
Well, why are we here? We're here to give out about the bloody bankers and the boss of government. Huh?
So you teach with special needs?
Yeah, my son has special needs. He's in Griffith Barrack National School, and there's a 10% cut on resource hours, and the school is down one SNA. One woman lost her job there last week.
We had 250 people came out, special needs, on Patrick's Bridge in Cork. I'm coming up from Cork just the other day. 250 people on the bridge.
Oh really? Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it'll be on the web. I'm going to stick it on the internet.
Would you do that?
I will.
Yeah.
A lot of good people.
Are you on Facebook?
Yeah. What community is it? Is it a specific community you're from?
A number of communities, St Michael's Estate in Chicor, Rialto communities, Ballyfarmers, a number of communities, groups. This is the kind of community.
So how did you find out about coming up here today?
Well, we know people in the United Electric Alliance.
Okay, yeah, because I'm in Cork and I'm in that as well.
Yes,
so same way.
We know colleagues that work that are part of the People Before Profits at the United Electric Alliance, so they would have communicated around. Brilliant. So we're activists all the time anyway. So we want to come out and make a statement.
It's good, isn't it?
Very good.
A lot of people.
Great, yeah, excellent. Very good, great energy. You know, so it's fabulous.
Rachel P. What?
She died in Ballymun in the flat from close to death.
January of last year.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Well, there's a campaign, Justice for Rachel.
This campaign, this was for about Rachel. Very good.
Our family want a public inquiry.
You're dead right.
Yeah, because Dublin City Council are to blame. They had a duty to
No
care.
heating in the flat.
Good.
Yeah.
This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy.
So are you students? Are you third level students?
Yeah.
What college are you from?
Trinity College.
Trinity College.
With mixtures, Galway.
Well, mixture. We're a mixture. So
We're mixed. So why?
basically, we're here today to basically say that we won't take the government's crap anymore. We won't take the austerity measures that have been imposed on us by the IMF.
Do you think fees? Do you think they want to put in fees?
They want to put in fees, hidden fees, shall we say. Put up the rage fee, cut the grant. It's basically the same thing.
It's the same thing.
It's always going to end in it. It's going to end in people not being able to go to college. And I mean, education is a right, not a privilege. This is why we have our free education for everyone.
Good to see you unite here.
Thank you.
So why are you here?
We're here against the cuts, the IMF and everything else that's going on. And why should the workers pay? Why did the bankers not pay? And why is everything, all the austerity measures have been put on the bus and they're still getting a big bonus, which they said they wouldn't. When Fine Gael and Labour come in, they said he wouldn't pay the bonuses, and the first thing they done, let them take the bonuses. Let the people with mortgages.
Absolutely.
There's the Regional Secretary of Unite.
Very good.
Regional Secretary, Jimmy Kelly.
Okay. So why you, it's great to see you unite here at this march. It's fantastic.
Yes.
It's really good.
We're hoping to raise a resistance to what the government has planned. We have to start working with communities, groups who are opposing hospital closures, special needs assistance, parents, workers who are under attack on employment rights and workers' rights. So if we can link all those up, because at the moment they're separated and that suits the government, pick us all off one by one, you know.
Nice to see red flags flapping in the wind, isn't it?
Good job. If only they'd flap.
If only they'd flap. That's a good one.
Handmade. Hand stitched. Especially for today.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
The interest rates are absurd. That's right.
Where are we?
They say too far.
Have you got a space for a flag anywhere? Or in your pocket somewhere?
Yeah, wait.
Good job. And it's good that Boy is in there now with some really hard There's another 300 houses. They always have to be subsidised by kind of a housing scam. They're like
There's a guy in DIT, Brian Hughes, who specialises in population trend analysis.
Right.
And I've argued with him for the last 5 years or more. You know, I was one of his students, constantly arguing about the way he deals with it. He's making the case that we need more housing here and there. And
show your opposition to this government. This government has said they are going to cut your services, to cut your schools, to cut your hospitals.
So why are you here?
For a future for our children, because we have teenage children going to college now next year and we have nothing for it because the bankers have robbed everything. We have no more to give, only our children, and we don't want them to be exported like our fruit and veg and everything else.
This is what we have to do to save our children, to save our future. We've got to stand up to the bullies. And when they take away assistance from our children with special needs, from traveller children, from immigrant children, from disabled children, we've got to stand up to them.
IMF, take a hike, what do we want? General strike. ECB, take a hike, what do we want? General strike.
The IMF are one of the most corrupt, violent organisations in the world. And who is facilitating the IMF? Our government. From vision follows belief, and from belief follows action.
A short poem by Dane called Rise Again. Thanks very much. Great to be here. There's only one thing to talk about. There's only one thing to write about. That's the rising that is coming. And this is a poem about that rising. It's also a participatory poem. I want everybody to join in with me. When I hold the microphone towards you like this, I want everybody to say rise and rise and rise again. Can we do that? We'll try it. Rise and rise and rise again. I looked at my daughter thinking, where will it end? Will she grow up in chains or will we rise again? I spoke to my lover, reached out to my friends. Is the human dream over or will we rise again? The system is broken and nothing will fix it. What's killing us all is addiction to profit. The rulers are insane, they're spoiling the planet. We gotta rise from the ground up and regenerate it. Rise! You're not a beast of burden. Rise and let us free our children. Rise! Don't let their lives be stolen. Rise and let the streets be taken back. Dublin to Cairo, Bahrain to Berlin. Shut down in Damascus, tear gassed in Spain.
Rise, rise, rise again.
Let them beat us and snipe us and blow out our brains.
Rise, rise, rise again.
Make a shield of our hopes, clench our dreams in our fists.
Rise, rise, rise again.
Make a shield of our hopes, clench our dreams in our fists.
It's a great turnout today, and I think it's a start of something that has to continue moving along the way. I want to talk about not what the government is doing. You know that. You know that here. That's why you're here today. I want to talk about what the government should be doing, or what a government should be doing. First of all, tell the IMF, the ECB, the European banks, we reject this deal. It's not working. It cannot work. We want the debt written down. We want the ability to reflate our economy. We want the ability to create jobs. We want a new deal for Ireland, a new deal for Greece, a new deal for Portugal, and a new deal for Europe.
Get real. Scrap the IMF deal.
We want to tell the EU and IMF that if you don't do this, we will default and leave the euro. That means walking away from the debts of the banks, not just the bondholders or the ECB or IMF debts. They are not ours. We can print money, we can create new jobs. The government, standing with the people, would end the austerity. No more cuts in welfare, in SNAs, in health services, no cuts in wages. Instead it would tax those who created the crisis. It would introduce a 5% wealth tax, minimum. It would end all tax avoidance schemes, especially designed for the wealthy. It would cap the salaries in the public sector of up to €100,000, and those in the private sector, anybody